I just pulled up to Goodwill. I've got $20 in about 30 minutes. Do you think that I can turn this into 100? Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Sheena, also known as Big Red. I've been a reseller for 9 years. I sell things on platforms like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and today we're gonna do a thrift challenge. Let's go. First things first, we gotta grab a cart. I haven't been to this location in a little while. Last time I was here, the shelves were really bare though. I always check out the purses first because they're right here in front. This colorful one caught my eye, and it was by the brand BIGREDSBOUTIQUE. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This used to be a pretty popular brand, but this was faux leather. It felt really cheap, and I have a purse by them that has been sitting for months, so I passed on it. I thought this braided leather bag was kind of nice, but Hillard & Hansen is not a very sought after brand. And then look at this kitty purse. It's by the brand Laurel Birch, which is definitely a vintage brand, and I thought for sure I was putting this in my cart, but the zipper was broken, so needed to leave it behind. First solid find came off of a new rack a worker brought out was this pair of overalls. The brand is Bernay, and they actually had them priced reasonably. I'm looking at these shoes because they're the brand Olukai. That's their symbol down there on the bottom. But for an all-white shoe, they were just way too stained and dirty for me. But normally that brand is one I look to pick up. Now these are a really nice pair of FootJoy golf shoes, and they're in pretty good shape. So I am sticking those in the cart. I do really well with golf shoes. These Crocs sneakers are actually usually a pretty good pickup as well, but they were $15. Right below that, I came across these First tactical pants, all new with tags. As you can see, there was a ton of them, and comps look like pretty solid $30 on them, but they were all a size 54, which would be a really hard sell. Since I found a really nice pair of golf shoes, I decided to head over and look at the golf clubs. I really like to sell golf clubs. I also just personally really like golf, so I'm a firm believer in selling what you like, but I found nothing over there. And then I saw these really cool Nikes, but Goodwill wanted $25 for them. Here I'm trying to check the material label on this Victoria's Secret little baby doll slip. If it would have been silk, that definitely would have been a pickup, but it was polyester, so leaving that behind. I've been really liking looking in the pajama section. There can really be some hidden gems there. But I spotted these boots and was very surprised when I saw what brand they were. The leather looked like really good quality, and they had a nice wooden block heel. The brand on them is Isabelle Marant, which I have never found before. Over in the athletic wear, I found some really great pairs of leggings. These are Beyond Yoga. They feel amazing, but they are also my size. So you're gonna see me grabbing a few pairs here, and they are all for personal use. However, they are all decent brands. This pair right here, I really liked the color on them. They were also the half off tag. They are by the brand Prana, which does have a decent resale value as well. The regular price for leggings here is $6.99, so since those were half off, I still would have considered that maybe a good deal for resale if I was going to sell them, because those will only probably fetch maybe $20 to $25, if that, if I were going to resell them. But again, those were for personal use. And then I found another pair here. These are by the brand Offline by Aerie, which I think people really like, so I was excited to find a pair in my size and try. And then another personal find, I found some pajama sleep shorts with bunnies on them, which I am obsessed. I also found these 2 brand new bottles of Philosophy body wash. This is a high-end beauty brand. And I did not find much in hard goods. This caught my eye because it looks like the Heartland collection. but it wasn't. It was by a different brand, and comps did not look very good on it, but it was a cute cottagecore little canister. I also found this duck picture. I thought that was really darling, but I'm not buying any more art right now. These framed Marvel prints were really cool too. I feel like it was missing one, but I would have considered picking those up to sell locally if they, for one, wouldn't have been priced so high and there was like a third one. Also was looking at this Free People sweater. It was chunky, it was cute, but it was priced a little too high. It was also a red tag, and anything red tagged you don't get a discount on at this Goodwill. So that was just too much. I think it was $12.99. No, $14.99. Another item I'm passing on. This is by the brand Eileen Fisher. It retails for a ton of money, but this is a very dated style. It's a size small. It would just be a really tough sell. Time is up. This is what the cart looks like. I've got a stack of personal items there, and then I have the overalls, the boots, and the golf shoes for resale. All right, that was a lot of fun. I went over time and budget, but you know how it is. I'm actually gonna head home because my phone is about to die. We're gonna check out the comps when we get there and see if we met the challenge. All right, I'm back home. Let's go over these 3 items that I bought to resell just a little bit more in depth. So the first item was out on a new cart that a guy rolled out while I was in there. And I've never heard of this brand, but they are a nice pair of like duck cargo work overalls. This is the brand. Okay, so it says it right here, Bernay. So I did just look up a few comps before I started filming again, and this brand is sold at Tractor Supply. It's your basic like farming, ranching type of thing. If you find the ones that are insulated, these ones are not. They seem to have a better resale value, but these are in a great men's size. They're in really nice condition, and they were only $7.99, which I got 20% off of. So I still think these will fetch probably about 30 bucks. So I'm happy with that pickup. I think some people might even just like wear these because they're kind of cool. I don't know. I know that trend is in. I like the cargo pockets. So again, I think $30 to $35 would be really fair on these. It looks like they retail for like $69.99 like on Tractor Supply. So next up, I found these boots, and I've never found this designer brand before. So the brand is, I don't even know if I'm gonna say it right, is Isabelle Marant. And of course it has the leather sole. They are in European sizing. These are size 40. And what was amazing to me, obviously the leather felt really nice, so that's what made me take a look at them. But the toe, there is no scratches, no scuffs on the toe there. They are in pretty darn good condition. Now these do have a wooden heel, and there is some wear on the wooden heel. I'm hoping like a magic eraser might clean up some of those scuffs there, but there is like some scraping there. But honestly, overall, these are in really great condition, so that was pretty exciting. Now let's talk about the comps on these. I could literally not find any comps for this exact style of boot. In my opinion, this is probably a little bit more of a dated style. So with that being said, you can look up Isabelle Marant booties and see comps over $100. I do see multiple pairs of these exact boots listed. They're called the Danny boot. I'll put those right here. So there are some that are listed over $100, $130. I don't think these will sell for that. I'm gonna do a more fair estimate of somewhere in between $50 and $75. So I may kind of price on the higher end and then see what kind of attention they get. They are a good size, and then see where we go from there, but I would not probably take any less than like $40 for these. So I think that was a great pickup. Goodwill had them priced at $9.99, so again, I got 20% off, so I paid about $8 for these. Last but not least, these are a pair of FootJoy golf shoes. Not all FootJoy golf shoes are created equal. This pair does need a little bit of cleaning, but I decided to go for it because of the model that they are. So these are the, it says Tour Alpha right here. And so if you check these out for retail price, these retail for $200. These are overall in really nice shape, just a little dirty. It doesn't look like they were worn a ton. This leather is gonna clean up amazingly well with a magic eraser, and I do really well with golf shoes. These are also a great size. They're a men's size 12. So I honestly think that I can get probably around $60 for these once they're cleaned up. So Goodwill had them priced at $12.99. So they were a little less than $10. Is that how it comes to, or is it about $10? Anyways, 10 into 50 to 60. 50 is like, you know, probably on the low end, depending on how well they clean up, but they look really nice. So definitely take a look at golf shoes. They have been a consistent seller for me. And so I think we met the challenge. I did take longer, so if you want to count that as cheating, I also did spend $5 more, but overall happy with these 3 items that I found. Plus, like I said, I did find some stuff for me, but that is the perk of the job. If you like reselling videos like this and thrift with me content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you in this community. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.